So if you are someone who has been planning to sit for the CPA exam for the longest time and are almost ready to pay for the course reviews, let me stop you right there, because the one thing that you need to do before making any of the payments, make sure that you are eligible for the CPA exam. A lot of candidates would jump right in by making the payment for the course reviews and without even making sure whether they can sit for the US CPA exams or not. And I'm here to tell you what you need to do to make sure that you can sit for those exams, because I get these DMs all the time on my LinkedIn. What are the eligibility requirements if I want to sit for the US CPA exams? Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Zubair Sohail and I'm a finance professional based in KSA, and on this channel we talk about tips and tricks on how we can grow professionally as well as personally. So the first thing that you want to do before start applying for the CPA exams is that check which state board you are eligible for. So as you might be aware that there are 50 states in the US, and each of these states have their own jurisdiction when it comes to issuing the license of the US CPA. So each state can have a different number of credit hour requirements when it comes to sitting for the US CPA exam and getting the license. Yes, you heard that right, because the eligibility requirements can differ when it comes to sitting for the exams and then after you pass the exam applying for that license. So the best thing you can do for that is go onto the NASBA website and check out which state you are eligible for. I had applied through the New Hampshire State Board of Accountancy, so that was the only state that was allowing me to sit for the US CPA exams with only 120 credit hours. And that brings me to my second point. When talking about credit hours, there is also another requirement that most states have, is that your degree needs to be for almost 4 years. So as some of you might be aware that the US education system has 16 years of education when someone gets a bachelor's degree. In most Southeast Asian countries, you have a 2-year bachelor's in commerce, which gives you a bachelor's degree with only 14 years of education. So a lot of these states require you to have a 4-year bachelor's degree. And that is also one thing that you need to make sure of, that in case if you have a 3-year or a 2-year bachelor's degree, you might not be eligible. So there are certain ways to work around this technique, is that you can get additional credit hours through a virtual university or a university in the US that allows online courses, and then you can become eligible to sit for that US CPA exam. But in most cases, this technique can be very expensive and time consuming. So the other thing that you need to check before you start your CPA journey is that which states allow international examinations. So recently, NASBA also announced that they are now allowing exams to be held in Saudi Arabia, which previously were not being held. And in my case, I had to do most of my exams in Dubai because New Hampshire State Board allowed candidates to sit for their exams internationally. But in most of the cases, some states will not allow you to do that, and you would have to go all the way to the US to sit for the exams. So that is one of the other key things that you need to make sure, that the state board that you're applying for will allow you to sit for the exams internationally. Delving into a similar point of sitting the exams in the US, some states also require you to have a social security number, while some states will allow international candidates and then there will be no requirement for a social security number. Yeah, so you need to make sure of that as well, that the state that you're going to apply for does not require you to have a social security number and you can sit for your exams. The final and the most important thing you need to make sure of is that the experience requirements. Some states would want you to have experience in the US or would like you to work directly under a licensed US CPA, which if you are an international candidate might not be possible since you might not have a lot of CPAs around you. So that will be one thing that can become a hindrance when it comes to getting your license issued. But there are certain states that will allow you to have international experience, and then they can vet that experience through an interview, and you might have to pay additional $200 for that. And that is what I did exactly in my case, because New Hampshire State Board of Accountancy allowed me to have international experience and they did not require me to work directly under a US CPA. All they did was a 1-hour interview with me just to vet my experience and the places that I had worked at and whether that experience was relevant to the US CPA certification. And once I had passed that interview, I got my US CPA license. So guys, those were my points on when it comes to checking the eligibility for the US CPA exam and getting the license. And in case you like that video, please do let me know in the comment section below. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and do check out my other video on how I passed my US CPA exam right here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.